Hey guys, it's Rebecca Elijah, but you family, so you can call me Becky. Welcome back to my channel. So quarantine is quickly coming to a close, and I've noticed a lot of people, they're still feeling down and distraught, and they're feeling like the world has just crumbled under them. But I just wanted to come here and help you guys see something a little differently. You're not in a time of destruction, you're in a time of reconstruction. The world around you, your world around you is forming, not breaking. So let's actually take this. Let's break this down. Let's look into this. You're experiencing a dynamic shift in your system, in your home, and you are your home. So you've been experiencing a dynamic shift in your home, and you're like, what the heck is going on? It hurts. It feels like you're in pain. You notice that friends around you, family members around you, it feels like you're distant from them. And it feels like what you had a grip on, the security that you had a grip on, it's no more secure. So what do you do when you can't find security in the things that you used to find security in before? How do you move along when it feels like everything is working against you and everything is crumbling? What you knew before and what you knew to be that worked for you, what you knew worked for you before is not working for you now. Where do you go? How are you supposed to feel? How do you move on from that? And how do you view that? What you're feeling right now is the ground shifting under you. But that shift is not a shift to break you, but a shift to mold you. Think about it this way. Let's talk about the difference between construction and deconstruction. Construction. So we're looking at our lives before quarantine, before COVID. Let's look at that. That was construction. Our lives were already constructed to a way that we were comfortable in. We had a certain way of thinking. We had a certain way of processing our emotions. We knew what our day-to-day schedule looked like. We knew where we were spending our money. We knew how we were getting our income, and we knew what we were so used to a certain routine. What do you do when that routine literally comes to an end? Okay, that's what quarantine did. It kind of brought that to an end, and for a lot of people it felt like destruction. What is destruction? Destruction is when what you held dear, what you held near and dear to you is knocked down. It's literally dismantled. So the groups of friends that you were sitting with and associating with or constantly surrounded by, dismantled. You literally had to stay home. And then the outings, the places that you would go to, whether it be church, whether it be movies, whether it be work, whether it be social gatherings, dismantled. Now you have to sit down and stay home. What about the people who lost jobs? What about the people who had they just got their dream job and all of a sudden they don't have that job anymore? What about the people who they don't know how to cope because you've never been in a pandemic before? So now that you're in a pandemic, you're like, oh my God, what the heck is happening? How am I supposed to move forward? What do we do? What do I not do? You're going to the stores, you're seeing people wearing masks. People are actually being a little hasty. Y'all can't even say hi without people saying, get out of my way, you're not 6 feet away. So it's like, what do you do when you're cut off socially and you're forced to sit down with your thoughts? And now that you're sitting with your thoughts, you're realizing what you're thinking isn't as positive. So now the world around you, your world, because you are your home, your world feels like it's being shambled. It's being knocked down. Like it feels like something came and bulldozed your home down. So what do you do when your home is being bulldozed? A lot of people, they stop there and they think, okay, this is destruction. I'm living in destruction. No, you're not living in destruction. You have to realize that this is an opportunity to live and get back into a different rhythm, and a rhythm that will work better for you. You're moving into reconstruction, not destruction. When destruction comes purely just to knock down and dismantle something and to leave it to ruins, to get rid of what was there originally. But when reconstruction comes, you have to understand, yes, you will be knocked down, but you're knocked down to be built up even stronger and even better than before. The comeback, the new plan, the new blueprint, the new format they have, the design that is in mind is so much better than the original design. And it's so much better than what you saw before. And when we're talking about the knockdown process. Let's start with the knockdown. So with the knockdown, it hurts when something's being bulldozed down, when the walls to your home is being bulldozed down, you're left vulnerable and it feels like you've shattered. But the beauty in what is happening now, the beauty in knowing God, the beauty in what he is doing is he's actually using this as an opportunity to build us up stronger. So as you're sitting down in your homes and you're seeing everything that is happening, know that God is using this time as an opportunity to reconstruct you better than the original model. This is an update. This is a 2.0. Yeah, that's what it is. He's making you Rebecca 2.0. But what is your name? 2.0. God is changing the things that concern you. So don't be so distracted and set on the things that have dismantled that you miss that with this dismantling that there is a build-up coming. But what are you doing in this time to build back up? Because if you're trying to put together the shattered pieces that are already there, if you're trying to reconstruct the home to look like how it did originally, you're not going to find all the pieces that you need. Instead, what you should be doing is looking at, okay, so I have a new piece here. Okay, I have this piece. Use these two pieces to build something even better, something that you lacked before. Because during this time, the old way of thinking, where we're going now, the old way of thinking is not gonna work. If your old way of thinking has been dismantled and went through a process of destruction so that a new way of thinking can come in with Reconstruction. So if you're trying to use your old way of thinking and bring that into this new season and bring that into this new time, you're not going to make it. Like, it's not gonna work. You need to actually be sitting down and utilizing this time to say, okay, I felt like I was comfortable and rooted in this. But you notice when that shaking came, you can no longer be rooted in that. Being rooted in that didn't necessarily help you. It actually made it worse. And when you tried to cling to that, you felt that you were getting worse and worse. So now it's time to find a new thing to be rooted in. When it came to your friend groups, think about the people. I want you guys to take inventory of this. Take inventory of the people that have been reaching out to you. Take inventory of the people that actually are trying to build. If they're not building, if you don't have people checking on you, if you don't have people that are trying to use this time to better themselves, then those are the people you need to remove from your life, because you can't use the old.
Hey, what's up, man? Let's you wanna go out and smoke? What's up? Are we doing this?
If you're trying to still hang with those type of people and they're doing that on a day-to-day basis, you're just gonna remain stuck while everyone else has already built up a new mansion. You're gonna be stuck in the ruins of the old. Don't be stuck in the ruins of the old when God is trying to have you build a mansion. It's time for you to change the way you build, change the way you see and view life, change the tools that you were using, and know that during this time, yes, as painful as it might be, being knocked down does not feel good. Being knocked down does not feel good. But what are you doing with that pain? Because pain can be constructive or destructive. Are you using your pain and letting that pain literally destroy you even further? Or are you looking at it and saying, okay, this hurts, but it's time to construct and build something new out of this? You have to remember that people who are in pain, the strongest people, warriors, are built from fire. Warriors are built from situations that were derived of pain. So it's like, are you choosing to be a warrior or are you choosing to be a casualty? Don't be a casualty of destruction. Be a warrior and a conqueror that came out with a reconstructive mind. Come on, it's time to get new business ideas. It's time for you to be innovative. It's time for you to create. It's time for you to change the people that you surround yourself with. It's time to come out of quarantine and be like, allow me to reintroduce myself. You may have thought that you knew me, but that was the old me. That old me is stuck and gone with the quarantine, because look, we coming out of COVID. We're coming out of COVID strong, because that heat is killing it off. As it's being killed off, let it kill off your old habits and let the new good habits arise as you are re-immersing into the world. When the world opens back up, are they going to see old you, or are they going to be reintroduced to new you? Do not be fooled by this time. This time is only destruction if you allow it to be destructive. Stop trying to reconstruct the things that already died. It's time to be constructive. It's time to reconstruct. It's time to build. Lay out the blueprint of how your life looked like originally. And the thing is, you're not using the same blueprint. Stop trying to place yourself in the same blueprint. Let me offer this up to you for consideration. Let's ponder on this for a second. Have you ever thought that the people, the lifestyle that you had in quarantine, pre-quarantine, the lifestyle that you had in pre-quarantine was actually too small compared to where God is trying to take you? Actually too small as opposed to who God really sees you as. Stop trying to squeeze yourself into a home, into a box that you were called to break. Y'all are squeezing yourself into this thing and saying, okay, like I'm comfortable here. Do not let comfortability be your enemy. Do not let it keep you stagnant. You are supposed to be bigger, but you can only be as big as you need to make room for yourself to grow. If you're not making room for you to grow, you're gonna be stuck in that same position. And some of you, it's because you're still operating out of the old. You're trying to use what you had during construction, not knowing that it was destroyed so you can have reconstruction. So your reconstruction can make room for what God is trying to give you and put in you. You need to let go of the old. Stop. Throw some respect on your self-worth. Throw some respect on who you are. Throw some respect on what you carry. My God, if you love to sing, if you love to dance, if you are a creator, if you are a business-minded person, if you are an engineer, if you are, if just whatever it is that you like to do, how you need to go and look at where you had in the past and see, okay, like I see this, but what can I do now coming out of this to be even better? That's not to say, okay, if God is calling you guys to go back to the same job that's reopening, cool, but level it up. Life is constantly moving forward. Whether we like it or not, life is going to happen. It's better to move with life instead of against life. Some of you are sitting down and missing what you had so much that you're missing out on the time that you can have to create something even better. Don't miss the old so much that you miss the fact that you could create something better. Don't miss the lemon so much that you miss the fact that there's lemonade sitting right in front of you. It's time to better yourself. Better yourself. And with that being said, I also want to say this. When you're sitting at home, a lot of people, their home life does not look like they want it to look like. It does not look ideal. It feels impossible. You're noticing that you're surrounded by your family, and you're seeing patterns that you didn't see before. You're seeing things that didn't work. And you're seeing things that don't work, but you didn't even realize that it didn't work because before you didn't have an opportunity to sit still and see this. But now you're seeing this, you're like, oh my gosh, everything is going to shambles. But you know what? Everything is always exposed to dispose. There is no progress without revealing the problem. So instead of looking at it as, oh my gosh, my house is going to shambles, it's being destroyed, you should be like, okay, this is good. I'm happy I'm seeing this now so that we can fix this and we can better it. Don't look at it at face value and think that don't look at pieces in face value and say it'll only be pieces. Use what you see in front of you and create something new. Mold it, change it. Use the resources around you to build. Use this resource. Use God. That's the best resource you could use. Please do not let what you see deceive you. You are in a time of reconstruction, not deconstruction. I know it hurts. I know a lot of you have felt pain, and that is not overlooked. It's not. It's not overlooked. And I'm sorry that you had to go through what you're going through. I'm sorry that you had to feel the way that you're feeling, but know that that feeling is not in vain. You are gonna emerge out of this better, bigger, and better, but you need to believe that you will emerge out of this bigger and better. You need to know, because as soon as you have that understanding, that knowledge, that these pieces in front of you are going to be made into something better, that is when you give life. That is when you give God. That is when you give yourself the permission to grow and the permission to build again. Give yourself the permission to build. Give yourself the permission to love again. Give yourself the permission to be excited about life again. Give yourself the permission to gain a new perspective instead of viewing out of the old goggles that you used to. It's time to come out of this knowing that you are a warrior. You are a warrior. You were not built to be destroyed. You were built to always have this is the time of the comeback. It's time to come back strong, come back harder. So if you're going through family problems, use this time to reconstruct your home. If you're going through marital problems, use this time to reconstruct your marriage. If you're going through business, financial problems, use this time to sit down and reconstruct your finances. It's time to come out of this better and stronger. Don't feel bad. It's not the time to feel sorry for ourselves anymore. Okay? And I say this out of love. I really do. You can't just sit there and feel sorry for the situation that you're in. Give yourself the grace to feel, but once you've given yourself the grace to feel, I want you to also give yourself the strength to build. It's time to reconstruct. Everything is gonna turn around. It's like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like this is a second wave. It's a new time. It's a new time. It's a newness, okay? It's a newness. Don't mourn the old so hard. Don't mourn the old wave so hard that you miss that there's a new one right in front of you. You know, because if you're so distracted by what's leaving you, you're gonna miss what's in front of you too. Don't miss it. This time right now is so vital. Don't let your mind and your emotions and mourning your previous life cause you to miss the new and the great and amazing life that is waiting for you. It's time to build that up. Okay guys, that's all I have for you today. I love you. You guys are awesome. You are warriors. You are builders. It's like a fresh wave, like a new burst of energy that's coming for you. Don't sit on it. Use that energy to build and reconstruct and think bigger. I want you guys to take this time to sit down and think about how you want life to be outside of quarantine. But don't use the same capacity of thinking that you did pre-quarantine, okay? Use this new capacity that you've gained to think bigger and to build bigger. Because whether you know it or not, this time has made you so much stronger than you know. So much stronger than you know. If you knew what I know, what I know is that you are a warrior, that you are strong, and that you can build, that you can come back, that you're gonna go into the world and be like, allow me to reintroduce myself, and the world's gonna be shook, okay? Let the world be shook with the new you. I love you, and all is well. Have a great day, guys.